You know, for the longest time, my inner life has been in turmoil. There's been a battle between my desire for novelty and adventure, for endless adventure and novelty, and also my desire for communion, my desire for love, my desire for marriage, my desire to soulmate. Because there's nothing, obviously, that I want more than to mate souls with someone, right? To create a life world together, to raise children together, to make life with together, the kind of union, soulful, spiritual, and embodied union that might heal us of our fractures and might allow us to grow and develop in ways we cannot even fathom. I'm looking for that partner, that life partner, and I long for that with a kind of aching ferocity, right? It's something that is missing from my life. Yet simultaneously, my desire to soar through the sky like a bird, to be free as a bird, to adventure endlessly, to explore forever, right? There's this desire for otherness, for a whisper of a thrill, right? And I'm chasing novelty. I'm chasing the edge of the horizon and finding a way for those worlds to intermediate, to find each other, has been quite difficult. My love of novelty has felt like a threat to many of my lovers. It has made them fear that I wouldn't be there for them always, because eventually I'd grow bored and I'd want to soar and escape the trivialities of the everyday. There was a terror of the holiness of the sacred union fading. Right? There's this idea that routine deadens everything. And so you find the one, you fall in love, you get married, and then you feel like you're in a prison. There's always been this anxiety about the imprisoning effects of habit and that you might grow tired of a person. There's something called hedonic adaptation. And so that's the problem, because you want union, but then hedonic adaptation says that eventually you'll just grow tired and trapped and restless with this person, or at least that's the fear, and that's what happens to so many people. They no longer are able to see each other. Meanwhile, the search for novelty and the search for adventure is always about blasting our eyes and blasting our hearts open, right? The thrill of something new, to travel beyond the horizon, always jolts us into awakenness, awakening. And so this desire to have both elements, right? To have the thrill, to have the incandescent and effervescent thrill of adventure and novelty, and yet to not lose sight of the glories to be found in intimate commitment and communion, in building a home and planting a garden with someone, in making someone part of your everyday, part of your life world. This is equally important. And they say you can't have it all, but I think what constantly jolts and agitates me is this desire not to compromise for one or the other, but actually to find both, right? To find a partner, that I can actually soar together with, that we can endlessly explore together with. And, well, I'll keep you posted.